guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sky, and today we're going to do Pisces Rising. So if you don't know what a rising sign is, your rising sign is going to be how others perceive you to be. It's going to give you insight on your overall personality and your characteristics, and it's also the natural energy that you give off to the world. Most importantly, your rising sign is going to be the beginning of your birth chart. So if you are new to astrology or you're just getting into astrology, know that each one of us have an individual birth chart. In Western astrology, it's a circle and it's split up into 12 pieces like a pizza, and each of these 12 pieces is a house, and a house pretty much represents like a certain area of life. So your rising sign is going to determine your houses and the positions of your houses. So it's going to have an impact on how your overall life unfolds, the role that you play in life, and your outlook in life, and also the experiences that you go through in life. So the first several years of your life are going to be highly influenced by the ascendant sign. Okay, so as a Pisces rising, you were kind of known as the fix-it babies. And what I mean by that is that a lot of Pisces rising, they were brought into this life in order. It's almost like you came into this life to bring happiness to your family, or to like bring happiness to a lonely parent, or a sad parent, or an unfulfilled parent, or both parents. Or maybe you came into this life to like mend a broken marriage, like, you know, stuff like this. So like when you were born, these were the events that were kind of happening around you, and like the minute you were born, it was almost like, oh my god, this person's finally here. Like it's almost like this magical, like there's almost this magical aura around the event of your birth. So I see a lot of Pisces rising that are very like, they want to save their parents, or they want to help their parents like through addiction, or through their struggles, or through their emotional problems. And a lot of times Pisces rising has that type of fix-it role, like, you know, oh, this person's here and they're gonna help our, you know, they're gonna help me, or like they're gonna help our relationship be better, like they're gonna bring happiness to the family. So even if your parents were like really happy and, you know, was a good relationship, like there was still this type of magical aura in the air at the moment that you were born. Like, oh my gosh, this person is here. Like it's almost like everyone is mesmerized by your presence. It can be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing, because this person that's here to like help other people with their struggles, it's almost like you have to put your own needs and desires to the side in order to help your loved ones or help your family. You're really good at putting yourself in other people's shoes. Pisces is the most intuitive sign, so having your rising as Pisces, you're gonna be really, really intuitive, and you're really gonna understand people much more, like you're gonna understand people on a much more deeper level than most people. So a lot of times when you're with somebody, what happens is that you feel their energy so much, and you can relate to this person so much that you match the person's energy that you're with. So that's why a lot of times Pisces are known to have like that chameleon type of personality. And so as a Pisces rising, you're really going to be able to snap into any persona, because you have a very deep understanding of a lot of people, and you really can relate to a lot of different people. That's why they say like with a Pisces rising, you don't really know what you're gonna get, and it's really because it depends on the other person. Like Pisces really know how to match up with that energy. When we look at the symbol for Pisces, it's two fishes, and there's one fish going one way and another fish swimming the other way. So this represents you in a nutshell, pretty much. What I mean by this is that you're gonna live in your own little world a lot, in like this amazing world that you created in your head. You live on a completely different world than the average person. Like you really lives in their own little world, in their own imagination, and they're constantly there. You are constantly escaping to this world that you created in your mind. So it's hard for you to live in reality for too long, because you're constantly trying to escape into your own world, and maybe not even trying to, but it's like subconsciously this is what you do. You escape, and you like to escape into this world that's much better than what reality is most of the time, right? Because we want to create like that perfect world, and you're gonna have an amazing imagination, out of this world imagination, and you're really good. So that's why a lot of people kind of say that Pisces are dozed off, like they have like that dozed off face, or they're not really paying attention, or they're not on earth a lot because they're constantly like in dreamland. Fourth house is going to be in Gemini, and this is not all the time. This is, your houses are really going to be calculated by degrees. So your fourth house may be in Taurus or maybe in Cancer, but for the most part we're going to keep it simple, and most Pisces rising are going to have their fourth house in Gemini. The fourth house represents your upbringing and your childhood, and also your relationship with your family. Growing up, your house or your childhood home was always full of noise. So whether you have a really big family that, you know, you have a lot of siblings, maybe you have like really chatty parents, or you always have like, there's always something in the background in your house, like maybe the TV's on, music's on, like radio, something's on. So there's always a lot of chatting in your household growing up. Wasn't really much quiet around you. And really young, you were really used to having people empty their stories out or their problems out to you. It makes you very sympathetic to other people's troubles, because your whole life you kind of been helping people with their problems, helping them resolve their issues, or listening to what they have to say. So at first when people meet you, you could kind of be a little bit shy or more reserved, and you like to be more observant. Depends on the person that you meet. Again, you have like that very chameleon-like type of personality, so you never know, you can meet, depending on like the vibe, you can be very, very talkative just at first hand. But for most of the part, like if a Pisces is in a group, the Pisces ascendant is gonna be mostly more quiet and like reserved and shy and like soft spoken. But the people who really are close to you, like your family or people who get really close to you, they're gonna know that like you really like to talk and you can talk a lot. So again, that's your fourth house Gemini. Is kind of like you have like this need to constantly communicate, or like not have awkward silence. Again, since you were young, you were constantly in your headspace, like you were constantly in your head, really are not able to sit in silence. So a lot of times, like you may have your headphones on, or you may have, like if you're at home, you'll have music in the background, or your TV will be on, or there's like some type of noise that has to be going on. Like you can't really sit there in silence for too long. But you have to remember that it's actually going to be really important for you to have that silence. For you, it takes a little bit longer for you to process things. And again, you're just being constantly consumed by so much information. You're very intuitive, and you live on like a different plane than a lot of people. So you have like a much more bigger understanding than most people. It's like you're like a sponge. So you're really gonna need to have that quiet time in order to recharge, in order to really think things through. Seventh house is in Virgo, and the seventh house represents your relationship to people, places, and things. In your life, it's going to be important for you to have Virgo-like people, or have people that are going to observe or have people around that are going to observe your actions and are going to logically bring them out to your awareness. They tend to kind of neglect a lot of the things that they have to do, like their daily tasks. So one of the things that they can neglect a lot is their appearance. Like they may not really care, and they just may be like always looking a mess. It's not uncommon for a Pisces to just be so focused on one thing that everything else just becomes not there, like non-existence anymore. So you'll probably find them like in their room, maybe in the computer, on their bed, surrounded by like snacks, or like a million different things around them, and it's just like they almost don't see it. It's almost like, you know, it's gonna be really beneficial for a Pisces rising to have people that really that really brings structure to your life and some type of order. So now the 10th house, and the 10th house, your 10th house is in Sagittarius. So the 10th house represents your career, it represents how you build yourself and your status. With Sagittarius here, you're gonna have like this larger than life vision for your career. You're gonna have a very expansive idea of success. So if you know a Sagittarius, or you know somebody with a lot of Sagittarius placements, then you know that, you know, they want to like do this, they want to do that, they want to be here, they want to be there, they want to drink this, they want to be here, like they want to do, they're like, you know, it's like all over the place. Like, so it's gonna be like that, but in your career. So for this placement, so you're gonna kind of always gonna want more, if you know what I mean. Like this kind of gives you like that give me more type of energy. You're like, you really like want to do a lot of different things, so you will want to like be involved in a lot of different ventures. Like your career can look like, or you will want your career to be something like blogger, traveler, animator, actress, like something like that. Like it's almost like it's not really like a concrete profession, like it's like a lot of different things put into one thing. So you can't really tell Pisces rising like what they should be, because it's like, you know, they don't really do that. So to a lot of people, you're gonna be like really ambitious. You're gonna come across as really ambitious, and you're gonna, you know, you're gonna be like, wow, and they're gonna be like, wow, this person really wants to do a lot of things. Like this person, you know, has goals and stuff. So on the flip side, like a negative person could look at it and be like, wow, this person is really delusional. Like, you know, there's no way that they're going to be able to accomplish this. Like a positive person is going to look at it as, you know, you are really highly ambitious, and you really strive for the best. Like go big or go home. Really not going to be want to put in a box. Like for other people, like mundane routine jobs is like, oh, this is boring. But to a Pisces rising, like this is almost like death. It's like really, really draining to you. Like it's like your soul is dying. Like, you know, being at this 9 to 5 type of thing is not really gonna work for you. Like you're not really gonna be happy there. You're always gonna want to break out of the box. You're always gonna want to, you know, do more. So freedom is also a really important thing for you in your career. Again, Sagittarius is all about freedom. They love their freedom. Sagittarius love freedom. They strive for their freedom. So you don't want to feel stagnant or trapped in your job, like in your career. You know, you want to have freedom. So a job that allows you to travel is going to be really appealing for you, because it's going to allow you to have like those really awe-inspiring moments that you really, really want. You know, you want these, you want to go out of the box, you want to do different things, you want your life to be exciting. Just recognize that you are very powerful in terms of your vision. You can really manifest anything you want, because you're able to really tap into and embody that person. It's because you have like this extremely big like imagination and this big sense of what your career looks like. It's like you get discouraged sometimes because you're not really able to put it out into reality. You know what I mean? So that's why it's really helpful, again, to have those Virgo-like people, or people that just really know how to structure themselves, or people who will help you recognize your faults. Or just know that you criticizing yourself and like you stopping yourself from completing a task is actually blocking you from achieving what you want to achieve, because you're not allowing the flow to come. You know what I mean? First, to really like put things into paper and like really structure yourself, because you're not really about that. Like you're really good at coming up with the entire picture, but when it comes to like small little tasks, it's really hard for you to do. So good career choices for this rising is going to be like anything artistic, anything that has to do with expressing yourself and your emotions, because you really are an emotional, sensitive being. A lot of Pisces rising, they tend to go more into the arts or do something more artistic with themselves, and then something that doesn't require you to like something that doesn't require for your life to be like so mundane and like, you know, routine like. Sure that you take the time to be away from people. Again, this is really going to bring a lot of healing to you, because you can really get consumed by a lot of people's opinions, and taking the time to spend by yourself or like with animals. A lot of Pisces rising, we have like this stereotype of Pisces always wanting to like save all the animals and save all the dogs from the shelter, or help homeless people, and that's true. You have a lot of those Pisces rising that fit that type of description. So if you're one of those people, definitely spend time with your pets or spend time with animals, because that's really going to bring a lot of peace of mind to you. And also spending time by the water. Being by the water is going to bring you like that really peace and serenity that you need. I'm going to mention some famous Pisces risings so we get a little bit of an understanding of what these people look like. So the first one is Michael Jackson. You have Whitney Houston. You have George Clooney, Adriana Lima, Paul McCartney, Demi Moore, and Billie Eilish. So just some Pisces rising, so we kind of get a little bit of an understanding, so we can kind of visualize what this person looks like. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.